Hi guys, Crystal here from Christico Design. Today we are making the Bella Bonnet and I'm using a 5mm hook. This is my white Odyssey and I'm using Paintbox Simply Chunky, which is a number 5 yarn. This is a thinner yarn, so likely you can make gauge with a number 4 if you try. And for this hat we are just crocheting up a flat rectangle and then we'll seam up the back. So it'll be a Pixie style bonnet. Okay, so this is a multi-size hat and we are going to chain 35 for babies, 0 to 3 months, 42 for 3 to 6 months and 6 to 12 months. Then for 12 to 24 month toddlers, we'll chain 49. For 2 to 5 years preschool, we'll chain 56. For child size 5 and up is 63. For teen or small adult, we'll chain 70. For the medium and large adult sizes, we're going to change 77. So we'll just start by making our chain for the size that you want. Our chain needs to be a multiple of 7. So if you need to adjust your size because you're in between sizes or you just can't meet gauge, then you can add or subtract 7 to the starting chain for this pattern. Okay, all right, so once you have your chain made, now you are going to skip the first 4 chains and work into the 5th. I'm going to turn it over here and work under this back loop, the back bump there. In the 5th chain, I'm going to place 2 double crochets. 1, 2. Now the first skipped 3 chains will count as a double crochet, so this is actually my first stitch right there. And then I'm going to continue on by making a chain 1, and then in the same stitch I'm going to place 2 more double crochets, so that all in that 5th chain I have 2 double crochets, a chain 1, and 2 double crochets. Now I will continue to skip 2 chains and work a double crochet in this chain and 1 double crochet in the next chain. Skip 2 chains again, and then I'm going to place my iris stitch, which is 2 double crochets, chain 1, 2 double crochets back into that same chain. That's called an iris stitch. Okay, so now we are going to skip 2 more chains and place 1 double crochet in the next and 1 double crochet in the next. So you see our repeat here as we go. Skip 2 and then do our iris stitch, and we're just going to keep repeating those sets of stitches until we get to the end. We'll have 5 stitches left after our last iris stitch, and then I'll show you how to finish the row. Now for the different sizes, you'll have a different number of sets than I will. I'm using the smallest size here to show you. Skip 2, 1 double crochet, 1 double crochet, skip 2, iris stitch, 2 double crochets in the same, a chain 1, and then 2 double crochets in that same stitch again. Keep repeating those, alternating across. When we have just 2 chains left, we've made our last iris stitch, we'll skip 1 chain and double crochet in the last. Then we'll turn our work. We'll start with our chain 3 or a chain 3 alternative like I'm doing here. Skip these 2 double crochets and in the chain 1 space we're going to place another iris stitch. So 2 double crochets, chain 1, 2 more double crochets in that same space, then we're going to skip these 2 double crochets, and in the 2 single double crochets we're going to double crochet 2 together. That's the first part, and the second part, and the finished double crochet 2 together. Since we don't actually want to decrease our stitch count, we're going to chain 1. So we still have 2 stitches there. Now we're going to repeat that sequence across, starting with our iris stitch in our previous iris stitch. Skip, and then here double crochet these 2 together. Chain 1, and just keep repeating that across until the last 6 stitches, and I'll catch up with you there and show you how to finish up this row. Okay, once we get across our row 2 and we have 6 stitches left, which is 1 iris stitch in our last skipped chains there from row 1, now we are going to place 1 more iris stitch in the last chain space, skip those 2 and just double crochet right there in the top of that chain, as that counts as our first stitch. Okay, so this is the right side of our work, row 2, the even number sides. I'm going to turn and we'll start row 3, which is a repeat of that first row, but instead of working into chains, we're working into our stitches that we made. So we'll start with our chain 3 or double crochet alternative. Going to skip these double crochets and iris stitch in our chain 1 space. Then we'll skip these 2 stitches, and in our double crochets 2 together in our chain 1 is where we're going to work our next 2 stitches, which is 1 double crochet and 1 double crochet, just like we did in row 1. Then we will skip these and repeat these 2 sets across the row. Alright, so now we have got across our repeats row. We just have 3 stitches left. We're going to skip these 2 and double crochet in the last. If you did a chain 3, you're working into the 3rd chain there. Okay, so this is our wrong side. We're going to turn and work row 4, which is a repeat of row 2. And we're going to keep repeating rows 2 and 3 for the length of your bonnet. And for babies 0 to 3 months, that's going to be 8 rows total. 3 to 6 month babies will be 9 rows. 10 rows for 6 to 12 months. For toddler 12 to 24 months, you're going to have 11 rows. For preschoolers, you're going to want 12 rows. For children 5 and up, 13 rows. For teen and small adults, 14 rows. And for medium and large adults, 15 rows. Of course, that's all adjustable. If you feel like you need longer, you can make longer or shorter repeats. So when yours is to length, what you're going to turn it on its side and seam here. Okay, so when your piece is as long as you need, here I have newborn size, you're going to fold it in half And the ends of your rows are here. The last row you crocheted is here. So the very first row, the first chain that we made in row 1 is here. These are the sides you're going to sew together. Turn it so that the chain is here, and then if you left a long enough tail, you can use your tail. So you're going to sew your row 1s together. And you can just use a length of thread. You can use a whip stitch like this where you go up and over, which a lot of crocheters find really easy. Or you can do a mattress stitch where you go under the loops. You just want to make sure to match up stitch for stitch if you can. Just going to seam that all the way up, back and forth, all the way across there. Alright, so when your back is seamed up, that seam is going to get flipped to the inside. This becomes the front. Okay, so to finish, we are going to single crochet across the bottom of our bonnet after we have it seamed together. Unlike me, you probably want to do this before you add your ties or your chin button closure. So you're just going to join your yarn at the bottom there, and I've made sure to put the bonnet so that the right side is facing me, so I'll be looking at the right side of my single crochets. And I'm just going to single crochet evenly around. If you get too many stitches close together, it'll start like getting roughly and wavy, and that just tells you you have too many close together. And if it starts pulling and kind of bowling or curling in on itself, that means you have too few. So just single crochet evenly around the edge. I'm working into the side of the rows on this one. So I'm just going under 2 loops of the side of the stitches the best I can. Sometimes like here, I'll just go under the 1 loop there. These are double crochet rows, and we're putting single crochets in them, so generally you're going to put 2 stitches, 2 single crochets per row. I don't particularly count. I do it more by like the reasons I just said. If it starts pulling or waving, those kind of things. I split my yarn here. Okay, so here, where we have our seam that we sewed, you can, it's a little bit thicker there, so you can kind of neaten it up as best you can there. And then we just keep going all the way around. And when we're all finished, we will cut our yarn and weave in our ends, and that's it. There we go, all finished. So you can slip stitch to kind of be done. If you want to add the chin strap ties, then you're simply going to use your crochet hook and join with a slip stitch to the bottom corner there, and then just chain all the way down there. So here I've done about 10 inches, which for me was 36 chains. Okay, and then when you are ready to finish off your chain, you can just cut it and then pull it through. Pull that last one. You're just going to finish off by pulling it through, pull it a little bit tight, and then you can use your yarn needle to weave that in. Obviously this is really small, but so you could just weave that back through here. Now if you're going to do a buttonhole, instead of the chin strap, you would do it the same way. Join with the slip stitch, chain 5, and then finish off that. I'm going to go ahead and put that back through here, and then I'm going to attach it on this side, sew it down, depending on the size of your button there. And then on this side, if you're not doing the chin straps, you're going to put your button there, sew button down, and then you can button that close underneath the chin. Okay, so that is how you make the Bella Bonnet pattern.